Okay, hello everyone. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to our Open Globe Insights webinar. Today's webinar is with, where is my screen? Oh, I've lost my screen. Okay, welcome. Today's webinar is with Giselle Pempedjian from Lebanon. She's going to present on the topic of generative AI use with human in the loop. So let me introduce first, Giselle Pempedjian is a senior instructor of English in the Department of English and Creative Arts. Her research focuses on integrating web tools and technology into learning, with a particular emphasis on effectively blending online and face-to-face classes to meet students' individual needs. Giselle is passionate about leveraging innovative online learning strategies to enhance educational outcomes. Welcome, Giselle.
Thank you, Yarkin, and thank you everyone for joining us on a Friday afternoon. That's great to have you. So, as Yarkin said, the focus is on the human while using Gen AI. So basically, we are immersed with technology. We are immersed with Gen AI every second, every minute. We have mushrooming applications and sometimes updated applications. And this is why our role is very essential in order to basically, and this is where my whole presentation focuses on, which is the how we use Gen AI, the purpose, why we're using it, and how we're using it based on that purpose, which is the decision or the judgment that we will take in order to decide which app will assess or will help meet the objectives of our individual learners. And of course, which will help us learners and teachers. I call myself a learner because learning is continuous. So this is why today we're going to go over a number of applications that helped, especially in English, in order to help the instructors and the students, give them agency, give them voice to voice themselves uh, in order to pursue their academic journey, which I believe it's continuous and nonstop. So you will notice that my application, and I gave credit for that, my whole presentation is assisted by different AI tools. I will have my the acknowledgement at the end, the last slide, with the tools that I used. Basically, the main structure is the Gamma application, which helped me design and come up with this presentation. And of course, I cross-referenced um, uh, Gamma application with other tools like or application or Gen AI, such as Copilot, Gemini, ChatGPT, VoxDeck, what have you. So it's the combination of different Gen AI that um, help combine those the presentation and the way um, that the presentation will take over. Of course, I'll be in charge of all that. The decision is all mine. But this is another point that I will focus on, which is cross-referencing. By the way, because October 5, according to UNESCO, is a Teachers' Day, so I want to celebrate that with you. So I requested one of the Gen AI applications to prepare a slide song light song because this is the free version to celebrate together our existence. The lyrics are here.
Okay. Would you like to share the screen?
Pardon?
Would you like to share the screen?
I'm not sharing the screen.
Yes, you are not sharing this. I think you forgot
oh,
about. Okay,
yes.
it's okay. You can
I'll
start.
do that. I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, while
Thank
you are
you.
sharing the screen, let me introduce myself. Sorry, I forgot as well. My name, my name is Yerkin Abdurrahimov. I am a community leader, one of the community leaders on the Open Central Asia Interest Community. Uh, Today, I will be going to be your host, and along with me, our chat moderator is going to be Nadra Kushbakova from Uzbekistan. Welcome, Nadra.
Welcome, Giselle.
Thank you, everyone. So I apologize. I didn't notice that the screen is not shared. Okay, so now you have the taste of what I was trying to tell you. So this is the presentation. As you notice, I also for that prepared a slide. I think you can hear it. This is also
Wonderful.
another song prepared by Gen AI.
The miles from the clock, they manage the scale, generating the on a digital trail. But efficiency fails if we lose the true purpose, so we shift the whole balance, deciding the future's path. We are the human in the loop with a core, bringing the why and the how to the floor.
So the why and the how that I mentioned are also in the song, and the human in the loop is also in the song, because this is exactly what we're going to cover. And to keep that aspect with all the mushrooming, as I mentioned, AI, generative AI applications, still the human should be part of the learning process. Now, of course, I will mention some drawbacks at the end, but basically, we need to be able to know let's say, master the tools that we need to use. By that, as I said, we should know the purpose, why we need to use this Gen AI, if it's applicable for our purposes, and then how this Gen AI will help meet the objectives of the courses or the material that we need to cover. So, as I mentioned, to honor us humans, uh, within that journey, which impacted every individual or most of the individuals on Earth, the role of the teacher, although, of course, there are certain situations where maybe there is a kind of harassment, bullying, or whatever. But I mean, the majority who are passionate about teaching should be recognized, and few exceptions who have problems within that academic journey or interaction with their students should not affect those like humans, teachers who put their heart 24, let me say, above the limit of their work in order to find ways to meet their students. I'm sure every one of you, especially being here, this is why you care about your students, you care about improving education in order to meet and to help our learners to be ready for just the second that comes after, because things are evolving very quickly. So this is a song also for you. The lyrics are here down, all guiding lights, because this is how I find myself, and you teachers, you lead the way through every storm. Okay, so let's play some of it.
In the quiet home of morning snow, you plant the seeds we'll come to know. A spark of wisdom, a gentle hand, building bridges where we stand. Oh, guiding lights, you lead the way. the soul, turning fragments in.
So basically, I will stop here because the focus here is that part. You teach the heart, and I'm not sure whether any Gen AI will reach that. So far, we never know in like few days, a year, what will happen with different Gen AI. It seems that it is whatever we feed the AIs, the Gen AI will get them back. So let's hope that we feed the Gen AI with the spirit that we have in touching hearts and lifting the souls of those youngsters who would like to be leaders maybe one day in this world. Okay, so basically, um, this is the outline, the partnership defining the hit, which is the human AI in the loop. This is the point why using AI. Human in the loop, this is what hit L stands for. And the irreplaceable role of the instructor, the human teaching, is essential in our role. We don't want to turn into robots. We don't want to turn into machines. We don't want that automated, I'm talking about myself, that automated atmosphere. What we really need to care is to keep that human touch and to impact our learners with that human touch, which they will keep with them. And this is what will touch their life. They might forget things related to material, to lessons, but they will always remember, even at any age, the instructor who touched their life at the stage of their education or schooling. Then we will go over the impact on teaching, learning, and assessment, how AI helped in those features. Now, the North Star is the guiding principles that we need to remember. I keep that for myself: the ownership of the material, the context, and the ethics, which are very important. The practical part, the high impact of the applications when we use them. And I will show you how I used AI in a reverse role, and I will give you some reflections of the students, what they learned from this activity. I would like to hear your feedback, or if you have questions, please share, and you can stop me at any time. Addressing the challenges of Gen AI literacy, the prompting, the infrastructure, etc. And the conclusion, which I re-emphasize, that the future of the human AI partnership. And this is a partnership. It's not automation, it's augmentation of the material or what we need to offer to our learners.
Yeah, okay. Dear participants, please, you can, usually we don't interrupt our speaker for 35 minutes, and we have a Q&A session after your presentation, Giselle. So please, dear colleagues, prepare your questions, or you can ask your question in the chat box, where our moderators will analyze and will address these questions to the presenter. Now our second moderator joined us, Nurana Dugdiya from Turkmenistan. Welcome, Nurana. Okay, thank you, Giselle.
Hello. Thank you, Erkin. So let's first, what's the concept here? It's that the learner, our students are learners. They are the whole. They come with their emotional intelligence, which we need to enhance those emotional intelligence, the critical thinking, the creativity. This is why I added songs and the images that are here. They're not only selected. This is a kind of model. We get some feedback from prompting, and I'll explain that later, the importance of prompting. And when we get feedback, we really need to assess and check, is that what we want? And the good thing about the Gen AI is they probe, they keep on asking, I can do that for you. Would you like that? And this is where we need to keep on checking, because so far, and as many are referring to, we don't want Gen AI to be another Google. We just ask a question and get the reply. We really need to benefit from the opportunities that Gen AI, the different applications, address our needs and the needs especially of our learners, the humans in general. So those are the parts. So as it's mentioned here, it's not just about facts and figures. What we need to keep in mind that what we need is to keep that emotional intelligence, the caring about each other, the empathy, the critical thinking, which should take place all the time in any step that is taken, creativity to keep it, because this is what makes us human, and the ethical, otherwise we will all be similar to each other, and the ethical reasoning to keep that ethical part in any step we take. Um, to consider that what will be the impact of this on different individual students. The gap. Uh, uh, Now, of course, with Gen AI, we can have large amount of uh, like material. They can be synthesized. We can. It. I will show you an example. It formats or provides the information in no time. The process is very quickly. But the thing is, does it include those parts that I mentioned earlier, which are empathy, ethical judgment, and deep contextual understanding? The in-depth is very important. It's not only the surface, it's going deep, and this is what makes the difference. Um, so the main issue is, this is our job here, is to fill in that gap. So far, I hope it will not be only so far. It will remain as such. Um, okay, so this is our human role. I hope we will keep it, acknowledging those aspects and look and interacting with our surrounding by individuals as whole with their special needs, different needs. And this is where also Gen AI will help us address those different or special needs. Okay, so uh, also Gen AI can help us, educators and students, because we want our learners to be assessors also, to be able to know themselves by learning the objectives of what they are learning, why they're learning that, how they can master it, each by his or her individual potential. So this is where also Gen AI will help in teaching and learning and assessment. Assessment as a learning tool, not only assessment to get a grade or to be labeled, but also as a learning tool that will help the learner and even ourselves as learner to check the gaps, to check for, let's say, what didn't work, and to work on it in order to overcome those hurdles later on, and to meet the objectives if they are related to objectives, to meet them at a later stage, while investigating about the issue, learning about the issue, and improving that gap that we noticed that we were not able to master yet. Okay, so also AI, personalized learning experiences. This is excellent. What Gen AI can offer is, of course, with other applications, we can have real-time personalized feedback. You will notice that I will show you examples from some applications that we're using at the Lebanese American University, where I'm a senior instructor for academic English. So I'll show you how um, the students are just getting direct feedback for the problem or the error or the inappropriate, let me say, answer based on a specific objective that we are working on, and we can on the spot give feedback and work on it. And this is excellent. This will be a kind of adaptive tutoring, so the student will know his or her specific problem and work on it with the feedback that is provided with that question or item that he or she worked on. In addition, we can also benefit from uh, the strategic assessment design, such as the rubrics that can be also designed. They can be generated by a Gen AI application or assisted by Gen AI. Of course, we need to feed the Gen AI with the objectives, with the percentages of what is needed. And usually, what I do here with the strategic assessment, I upload our syllabus where there is the grade distribution, there are the objectives, course learning objectives, and how they will be assessed, what we will be covering each for each module, etc. And when I'm assessing a certain aspect, I get some suggestions from Gen AI that I'm using via Blackboard here, or I can use another Gen AI, but here, because we're using the LMS, that is Blackboard Ultra, as our learning management system. So Gen AI there will help me generate the rubric. And of course, I adjusted, I go over it, I tested as a student, as a learner myself, and check if it's clear, so that if I want to use it with my students as peer editing, which is very important, or self-assessment, it's clear for them. They know what is expected, and this will help them improve their learning if they want to improve their grade. Okay, so basically, some of the tools that helped prepare the activities and the presentations. Let me give you an example. As I said, uh, I mean, every day you might hear a new updated application, Gen AI, or you might hear a new application that functions or gives uh, like features that are very essential for us. So I want you to check this feature. I'm not sure whether you can, maybe I can add it in the chat. Um, so let me open it for you here, and you will see what I mean. So this is the presentation that I prepared, the one that you see here with Gamma, basically. And then I uploaded it on PowerPoint. And by the way, students can use such activities for their projects. I prompted the application, the Gen AI, for what I need, and then it gave me that. But then I took every picture and I edit the pictures. For example, Gamma gave me pictures of only females. Let me see if one of those, um, maybe we'll see it later. Okay, so here, for example, um, Gen AI gave me only pictures of females. And then I asked, I'm talking now about paying attention to the input and the output that we get. So I prompted again, and I said, I want to add a male or males in the picture. And then I asked, I wanted to be the picture to be with diverse students, not just from one ethnic group. And then, because we're talking about AI, okay, I requested to have, let's say, a robot, to be among those learners. So here they are assisting each other. So this is to show you that it's not enough to get the feedback, but we need to really know what is needed. So let's share what Vox deck, as I told you, the way it generates. So I gave the instructions here, and then this is how we will get the feedback and the coding, which is, now you see it. It's preparing the presentation in front of you directly. And you notice that now you can see the screen, right? So this is the coding. This is how the process takes place. 8 slides. It's generating each slide, preparing the coding, which we can edit later, of course. If you know coding, you can enter directly and change whatever you want. And let me jump to the results. Okay. Voila. Look at the results. In no time, you get the different, and you can check whether, let me see, how can I, okay, oops, all right. It gave it, I will show you the example, but this is how it processes it. And then you can change the prompt, you can, but the thing is, the free tool, you have limited number of, voila, So as you see, it's animated. I believe students will be more engaged with such presentations. This is the same presentation that I'm working with you now, and this is what VoxDeck is providing. So this is up to us. This is why I said the purpose, basically. Now it's the slide 4. Let me show you back. And how we want the presentation to be. Okay, so those are it's the same as my presentation, presented in a different way. This is where the human is back in the loop, where our decision will take place. We are the agent. Our voices need to be there. By our voices, I mean even our students' voices when they have to present projects and I believe this is what students need to learn, not just to get to send the prompt, even if it's well written, and to get the feedback and to be satisfied with that. Um, and such activities will help the learners assess what they want to work on. Those are the different, uh, let's say, presentations that I was just trying. And as I said, you have credits. For every presentation, you lose maybe a number. It depends on the number of slides, pictures, editing, etc. Let me see now where my presentation is. All right. So this is an example of uh, VoxDeck. This is voxdeck.ai, and you can try and check how you can benefit from preparing your lessons, students preparing their presentations, etc. Now, the main guiding principles for integrating Gen AI with us, the humans, is that uh, agency, we need to give the students the agency and ourselves to decide on what we need to finalize, to edit, as I told you earlier with VoxDeck, as I told you with the pictures that are here, the images, they were all females in the picture in the middle. They were all females. So I requested the editing to be add males in the picture, have them at an older age, etc. So this is where the final edits, they need to be our decision. We need to validate the facts. We shouldn't accept the facts as they are. So this is why cross-referencing is very important. As I told you, I refer to Gemini, I refer to Copilot, I refer to Monica, I refer to ChatGPT, I refer to Gamma, in order to check whether what is the best for the purpose that I need to present. And this is where checking the facts that we're getting is appropriate, is essential. And this is where whatever we prepare will be our ownership, and the output, it will be ours, because every step will be our decision. It's not AI anymore. It's AI and us, that we augmented AI. Okay, context and relevance. Um, our context is to offer our students, the new generation, their job is not being at school is not to learn knowledge. It's to practice and check their potentials and work accordingly, to learn how to use knowledge that is already available, to assess that knowledge. So this is why they need to check for relevance. Is that relevant? And this is where critical thinking is very important. And this is where they need to understand and pay attention to uh, the different cultures, understand what different cultures need. So it's more investigating, learning about the others, in order to communicate smoothly. Uh, Understanding the audience. We always say that when we focus on communication, target audience, purpose. But now with AI, with Gen AI, we really need to focus on that more and more in order not to accept whatever they are providing, to avoid biases, to avoid hallucination. You probably heard all that. So this is where our job is to keep that scrutiny with every step we take. So maybe it's easier, but it's more critical. Our job is easier, but more critical. And this is what we need to inform our learners, also our students, about that. What is very, very important also, it's the ethical and moral reflection. So how can we use Gen AI in an ethical way? We need to ensure that whatever we are receiving is not biased, it's not insulting, it's not like taking advantage of one feature rather than the other, etc. So this is where discussing those issues with the learners, practicing them with the students is very essential. This is why what I did is, in order to give that augmented opportunity to augment the use of Gen AI, and to take into consideration our students' needs. For adaptivity, for example, I use DFID. Probably some of you practiced or used DFID before. DFID.ai. I will show you an example in a while. If you are teaching language, this is excellent. You just mention what you like. Let me see if, and I will show you now. Let me, how can I leave this? 1 minute, please. Okay, no, not end show. Is it? Okay, let me end show. All right, let me show you. I prepared here some of the applications that I want to, okay, show you. So we discussed Gamma, the application that I used. I didn't discuss. This is Vox Deck. Okay, I'll close it. This is Gamma. This is what I used for my presentation. You create a new presentation, you decide what you want, you remix, and it will generate the presentation, the lesson, the quiz, what have you. So this is gamma.ai. Okay, done. This is Zoom us. All right, we did that. Okay, this is DFID. DFID.ai. If you are teaching English, for example, I can create a new activity here just before the our session. I asked DFID to prepare an APA activity, and those are different activities that I prepared earlier. So this is related to in-text citations, APA in-text citation. I'll get the lesson. Let me show you if I can. Voila. Those are the questions. As you notice, to accommodate our students, sometimes we need to consider this. Sometimes we don't have internet connection, or it's very poor, and we don't want to penalize the students for that. So this is why it's very good to keep as plan B, or for those who don't have their devices to answer online, it's very good to have a plan B of paper and pencil format for the same quiz, where students who have special needs, special adaptive needs, maybe they cannot see via their small devices, they don't have their laptops or whatever. So by that, we can accommodate the different needs. So we can print out the form, or we can give it online. Of course, if we print it out, they need our feedback. But when it's online, they can get directly feedback for their answers. That's the pros and cons. Those are the different activities. So let me show you briefly how easy it is. So this is the first page. So whatever you want to say, let's say formal, informal use of language. Academic English, let me say that. You specify the grade. Okay. If you have objectives, you align it to. You select the language that you need to work on. You decide the resources to be what kind of resources you need. Here I choose anything. You have more options. Number of slides, pages, okay? And you generate. You will notice that now in few minutes we will have options, okay, that we can keep online, we can embed in our LMS. Voila, you have a text, you have formal, informal, you have questions, you have the summary, you have vocabulary, there should be vocabulary. Voila, that's the vocabulary. Okay, for the keywords, multiple choice questions, you decide on that. Should, and then you decide whether you want them all, they are valid for your quiz, for your learning objective or not. You can modify the questions, change the activity, show answers, etc. And this is how easy and interesting AI can be used. Those are pictures, of course, we can change them. And as I said, we can embed them in our LMS or Google. If you have Google, it will go to Google Forms, the answers of your students. This also showed to be successful. Gamma, we did Gamma already. Is that Gamma? Let me see. Yes, this is Gamma. As I said, you add here, you prompt what you need, and you specify what is needed accordingly. And the prompt is very important. You can modify the prompt later on if you don't have answers to your needs. So this is Gamma that I use for one of the applications. And okay, also an important tool, which is always evolving, Padlet AI. This is TA Padlet, which is excellent for generating AI. Those are the activities that one can use. But as I said, it's always us, the human, who will decide based on our learners, what they need, and how we can accommodate our students' needs to the learning objectives and keep the material engaged, mentioned here, and personalized. So this is very important. This is still beta, I think, a beta version, but you can try it, and it works in an excellent way. It facilitates your work, and students will enjoy that. Let me see. Okay, Wayground. Remember, I told you about feedback, which is very important. And this is not enough. This is for us to go back and check. Wayground is the new quizzes. Quizzes was, we used to have quizzes, Kahoot quizzes. This is the category, Quizlet, etc. Now, the new Wayground is the new quizzes. The features are here. This is an example of the activity that I performed today with my students. They watch a video about APA. Yesterday or 2 days ago, our coordinator sent us a link, a video link to use with our students because we are multi-sections and so that we are consistent. So instead of adding the video link for the students, and students will watch it, but they will not know what to focus on, etc. I embedded the link in EdCafe. EdCafe is not here. EdCafe, I will share all those with you. EdCafe AI. I embedded the link. It's not, I'm not logged in. I'm not sure here. Okay, so it's also free. You have a free version. It's not completely free. But the free versions are good. So what I did is, I just uploaded the video on EdCafe here. You can add it on Edpuzzle. Maybe you know Edpuzzle, but Edpuzzle, I used to use it like a few years ago. But because of certain restriction, Edpuzzle, we cannot open it in Lebanon anymore. So it's not functional with our VPN. So this is why I had to rely on other tools to replace the Edpuzzle, where I can add videos with the material. So all I did is I copied the link that the coordinator sent us, the instructors who teach that class, English 009, let's say, and I just added it here, feed that AI with it, and I requested activities with it. So all this is what it generated, a number of questions with their explanation that the student, while watching the video, the questions will be embedded within that video. So this was very helpful because, and by the way, as I said, human is at the center. Human is in the loop. So what I always ask the students is, while watching and answering the questions, because it's practice, I want them to take notes. And if there is any item that they were not sure about the answer, or they didn't understand any concept, they write it down so that we work on it together and we elaborate on it together. Together, I mean, not only me, maybe another classmate will help explain that feature. So this is an example on how in no time, I was able, let me show you here the activity itself. Okay, let me move my screen. Okay, so this is Blackboard. This is Academic English 1 Blackboard. Let me see. Okay, so the video is not here, the one that I was telling you about, but here I have other videos to show you examples of what you can add. Voila. And I mentioned to the students that when you watch that, there is a quiz in the embedded in the video. Those quizzes are not graded; they are for learning. They are for practicing. So when the student clicks on that, my connection is a little bit poor. All they need to do is to add their names, and voila, they will have the video that meets the purpose of the lesson, because we're working only on in-text citations, for example, and the generated questions by AI. But of course, I decided which ones are applicable, which ones are not. I added some, and this is where students can watch and answer the questions, and I kept it that they can do it multiple times, not for mastery, just to make sure to go back to the video and understand what is the problem, what they need to focus on to pay attention to. So this is related to how Gen AI can help us humans and students meet their needs and adaptive and assess. The assessment will be more meaningful, because as you notice here, that I think some of you already noticed that. Let Voila. So we have, as you notice here, you will have the questions that were answered correctly, the ones. So what I will be doing, I will check why this question was not answered correctly. I will re-emphasize that part. So it will be easy for me, not for me. It's not easy. It will be more efficient for us, students and instructors, learners all together, not to lose time with the ones that were mastered. Khalas, those are fine. We need to work on the ones that are still problematic, and this is why this is excellent for assessment and adaptive learning. Even the student will have access to what he or she missed, so that they go back to the video and check that specific part. They will not lose time and viewing or reading everything. Our students they don't have the patience, they don't have the time to check long items. So this is why this is very efficient. They will target just what they need. So this is how that part also meets the needs. Okay, so this is regarding, okay, let me show you. Okay, let me show you this part where I changed the activity to help students. You know, I'm not sure about your students. Our students, most of the time, rely on to get any answer, as I told you earlier, ChatGPT or any Gen AI, and they get their answers. Sometimes also they take a picture of any activity, and they get the feedback uh, based on what the picture is about and questions regarding that. Uh, I'm not sure about whether your students do the same, but they're getting quick answers without critically evaluating and thinking about what they're getting, and they're accepting it and they're sending it. Sometimes they send it. Do you like my answer? Do you approve it? Is it validated? And they keep it within that activity. So what I did, I reversed the roles. In one of my activities that I will show you now, and let me show you what the student said before. Where is it? Okay, no, no, no. This is for the Padlet. All right, here. All right. So what we have here, I prepared an activity where it's a role play. I used the AI chatbot as a student, similar to them, student in their class, and they are the tutors. The student himself or herself is the tutor, which will help the chat bot to answer or to check the specific um, learning outcomes. So let me open this activity again. I think I prepared it here. Okay, voila. So I called it Ella. Let's say Ella needs tutoring. Ella is a chatbot. On Blackboard, we have that privilege to have a role play, and I prompted through Gen AI. I prompted Gen AI to play to design this scenario where Ella, which stands for Emerging Learning and Language and Augmentation, this is Ella. This is why we called her Ella. Ella is an English 101 student, and I gave her the trait so that when she communicates, I don't know why I'm saying she. When the chatbot communicates with the student, the learner, will have that uh, formal tone, respectful, but it struggles with formal tone, which are our objectives. This is what we're working on. Okay? Formal tone, sentence structure, and citation. So I prepared the chatbot to take that role, the student facing problems, and I asked also to have to send a text to my students, and the text to be in order to meet different disciplines, because my students belong to different majors or take are under different disciplines. So this is why I gave like one in marketing and another one in, I think, AI, and we added the draft. And also, I added a kind of rubric in order to remind the student who is going to tutor Ella with the objectives that are needed for this activity. So what they do is, and I added this reflection question at the end, okay, after the activity. So what they do, students uh, access, let me show you examples of, no, 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 no. Okay, maybe here. All right. So this is the example of the activity and what the students replied or helped. So they worked as tutors. So now they understand that whatever it is sent via AI is not always correct. They can add anything. So here the name space dog, which is not appropriate. I forgot to edit space dog for Ella. This is my mistake. So this is where the student replies, "Hi Sage, how can I help you?" So the pink one is the feedback from my student, and this one is from Ella, which is the chatbot. And this is a kind of conversation the student said, avoid using pronouns like they, because for it to be formal, you should not personalize. Instead, use original. Thinking must not be replaced. So now the student is working as a responsible editor, and at the same time, targeting the learning objectives, not anything. So the chatbot is just specifying those points. And then the chatbot replies by, you're right, avoiding pronouns does make sense. However, actually, the day is not a problem. So me, after in our next class session or whenever we're going to meet, I will re-emphasize those problems and tell them it's not the they that we prefer that is not used. Maybe the I and we for formal language. This is what we want them to practice. So this is where also my role will take place. Um, Check the punctuation, for example, and the chatbot will reply, will send the text with the appropriate editing that is needed based on the student's feedback. So this is another one. Maybe this was not elaborated. This is how another student reply. Here, the chatbot Ella asked, or Sage, which one you prefer? Sage said, or Ella, because I have different chatbots. The student said, I prefer emotional branding, please, as the text to edit. And she sent, Ella sent, or Sage sent the text. Could you help me refine this, please? This is the chatbot asking. And this is what the student replied. Now, mind you, I doubt that this is my student's actual work. It could be that this student took whatever is from this chatbot to chatbot and get the reply. It doesn't matter now, as far as they know what is expected and what is the role uh, of an editor, which is part of the writing process. Here, the student is giving the reply. This is to show you the different examples of how students can communicate in simulations, role play activities, where the student is immersed in real life experiences, okay, with different scenarios, of course. But what is special, what I really liked with this activity is when I flipped the roles and I asked the chatbot not to give answers, but to be the student and requesting help, which some students really appreciated and felt that they are important, and um, their work is appropriate. For example, he replaced vague phrases like technology, like AI, with artificial intelligence AI. It makes it more formal, etc. It might be not very appropriate, but at least I can check what they assimilate and work as such, and help them later on refine and balance that. Okay, so this is the activity. As I told you, I requested at the end a reflection. And of course, students get extra points on that. All right. So reflect on your role as a human editor. This is the question that now you're going to check some of the replies. Guiding AI generating writing. What ethical consideration did you encounter, and how did you ensure academic integrity? So this is very important to remind the student that they need to keep this in mind all the time: academic integrity, ethical issues, and they need to remember that they are working with bots, chatbots. And what did this and the second part, what did this experience teach you about your own writing and feedback skills? And this is very important for me to adjust the classes, to highlight the lessons. How might you apply these insights in future academic or professional context? So let me go back to the presentation. And this is those are some of the students' replies. I collected them here. So the answer: working with Ella was a valuable experience. I assisted her, like maybe because she's Ella, in correcting errors in her writing, including, she specified, subject-verb agreement, the use of formal academic language, and proper in-text citation formatting. And this is excellent because this is the objective of this module. Through this process, I learned how attention to detail is crucial, And this is excellent. This is what I think we need, to go in depth and to check details, uh, and especially in academic writing. I supported her growth, and I like that this person, this student, felt that she really helped in the process of learning, and she has like value in that by providing clear explanations, offering examples, and encouraging independent practice. Another brief, by focusing on structure and critical analysis, I helped Ella transition from summarizing sources to arguing effectively. I don't know why they did that now, demonstrating significant growth in her ability to integrate, and this is very important, evidence and maintain clear analytical focus. Now, maybe here there are some parts that are not within our module. Another one that I selected only those. Tutoring Ella helped me apply English 101 strategies in real practice. And this is actually what we're talking about, the praxis. By guiding her through tone, structure, and citation, I also clarified my own understanding of, and this is very important, internalizing the material. So explaining concept out loud made me recognize gaps and strengthen my skills. And I think this is amazing. I'm not sure whether you share that with me. Supporting her growth meant asking questions, modeling revisions, and this is also something very important, that writing is not just one piece written and that's it. It's a process that moves from one draft and goes on to proofreading and reviewing the material. Supporting her growth meant asking questions, modeling revisions, and encouraging confidence. And I think this is very important. And this is why students were not shy, maybe because they were working with a bot, and maybe this is how they felt at ease with it. So this experience prepared me for future peer tutoring. Wow, I really like that. By the way, I'm reading that with you just now because I received them uh, just earlier, and I just copied and pasted them, by showing me how collaboration improves both the learner and me, the tutor. And I really like that. I don't know about you, but I feel that we are really reaching those students, giving them that agency that usually in the classes all together, listening to the same lecture, maybe being shy not to ask, or they don't want to give wrong answers, etc. Maybe this is where they can get away of that fear of just the inquiry, and to keep the critical thinking and the ethical aspect always within them. So here, this is very important. That's I'm not sure whether you can see the slide now here, building human capacities. Can you see that slide?
Yeah, we can.
Thank you, Yerkin. Thank you. So this is very important. I think time is over or nearly over. So this is very important. This is what I really believe in, and this is how I work with my learners and my colleagues also. So empathy and emotional intelligence, we need to use to, I don't want to say use, to benefit from Gen AI, the different Gen AIs that exist and keep on existing, in order to augment empathy and emotional intelligence, to encourage problem solving and conflict resolution from different perspectives, the analytics and adaptive learning that we can benefit from, us and the student, to check the specific problems and to work on the communication and socializing. Also, maybe this is an example here of role play one-to-one, but also we can have group work and participate even face-to-face in such. Respecting and accepting differences, very important. And this is, I really believe we need that in our world, because problems will be reduced if this is a part of our interactions. And what is very important also, the inquisitive mind and differentiation. Um, we need to encourage that, the inquisitive mind, not to accept anything that is provided. So what is our new role? Just to close, maybe, we need to embrace our new role. And I'm reading this part here, okay? Um, Okay, so not as content deliverers. They don't need us. Students don't need us for that. Gen AI can do a better job with that promptly. But as master curators, ethical validators, and mentors of the whole learner, not just the material that we are sending and receiving. So this loop requires us, all of us, to design, to use Gen AI, to benefit from Gen AI, to design activities that will address those needs. And by that, we will address the human, and we will always be there as supportive, as decision makers, as leaders in this field. And this is the acknowledgement of, this is to show also the ethical aspect, the acknowledgement of voila, the acknowledgement of how my presentation was prepared. I was assisted by Gen AI, not one, but all those content and ideation for the ideas, drafting, refinement, and analysis. I refer to Gemini 2.5, ChatGPT, and Copilot. For creative and presentation, the visuals, music, composition, and Gamma and Suno. And voila, here, this is the QR code for the Padlet. If you are interested to, let me show you what this QR code for. You will find the tools and more tools that I did not mention here. I did not need, this is why. Let me see. Where is the Padlet? This is the one with the, yes. So here you will have from, and via this QR code, you will have those activities, and what they stand for. They are not activities, I apologize. The Gen AI tools that are applicable, some of them might have changed a little bit, like here, quizzes should be Wayground. I need to edit that. Voila. Wayground now. See how things change? Okay, let me write formerly quizzes. So I think update. Voila, that easy. And when you, if you scan the QR code and you would like to add, please add and add comments or add any application or Gen AI, maybe that is not here, so that together as humans, we can add whatever we use and find beneficial for one activity or the other, one learning objective or the other, in order to use it. So I think, let me check. This is a thank you. Also, I added that song here. So don't forget that this is a song also prepared by Suno.
And make the student whole. As master curators, guiding the hand.
So in this song, I collected all the keywords that I have in my presentation. I prompted them in Suno, the music AI, and I selected the most. This is the subjectivity of the human. So as I said, the purpose and the judgment, the decision, those two aspects should be with us all the time when we use any Gen AI, and this is what I believe in, and this is how I just touch my learners and help them succeed in their work. I have here one activity that this is how I use the Gen AI. Some of you maybe, if you attended another presentation where my students needed to, their names are hidden here, okay? This is why there are those glasses. This is the prompt, the blue part is the prompt, and I asked the students, and this is the creativity part, to come up with a song, but the song is targeted for a grammar lesson that is noun prepositions, the combination, the collocations, and the prepositions use. And this is where students came up and entered in the prompt as the collocations, noun prepositions or verb preposition collocations, and added them, and each created a song, and they selected the music, they selected the lyrics that they decide that they reflect what they have, and the picture. This is the students' work, and this is why we can also be creative, even with grammar, add that creativity sense and the agency for the student to fulfill the activity and enjoy it, engagement, enjoy it. And that's it, I think, from my side. I'm not sure if I missed anything. I rushed a little bit so that I make sure I covered the main aspects.
Yeah, that was amazing, you know. Thank you, Giselle. Thank you so much. It was such a great presentation. As I see, you have a lot of things to share. So I'm already thinking to organize another session with you in the future. So
Thank
I
you.
see, yeah, you have a lot of things. So thank you so much. You've shared a lot of things about generative AI. So now we have, yeah, it's already an hour, but we are not going to break our rules. So let's have two questions. I would like to give the floor to our moderator from Turkmenistan, one of the community leaders, Nurana Durdieva. Nurana, are you here?
Hello, Yerkin. Hello, Giselle.
Hello, Nurana. What do we have in the chat box? Could you please read two questions and some important requests from the participants? As I have noticed, one of the important requests was from Kasti, president in Kazakhstan. Giselle, would you like to share the link to the Padlet in the chat box?
Yes. Okay, sure.
Yes, please. While you are sharing the link, Nurana, could you please read out some comments and ask just two questions for now? Thank you.
Okay. Actually, the comments are like this. Thanks for such an informative webinar, amazing lecture, and also Kasti also mentioned that you touched us as well with such an informative session. Hope to try some of the platforms and tasks. And thank you for this excellent lecture. And Yerkin, I don't see any other questions actually in the chat.
Yeah. Okay. Then that's great. That's great.
Thank you so
Dear
much.
participants, because we have exceeded the time. So for this session, I'm also going to skip the announcements, but don't worry. You can ask your questions to Giselle on Facebook. She's on Facebook. She's following our Open Central Asia Interest Community. So you can ask the questions under the post. So I'm sure she will be glad to answer your questions. And please follow our Facebook page and YouTube channels not to miss other sessions in the future. So thank you so much, Giselle.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You've done a great job. Yes, please.
Thank you. Two things. Can you please confirm that the link opens from your side? Anyone? Please tell me. If it doesn't, I will share another one.
Thank you so much, Giselle. Yes, it works.
Yes,
thank you. Another issue. Let me say that it's by belonging also to communities like yours. I learn a lot from belonging to such learning and active communities. So if I'm improving, it's because I belong. I learn a lot from you people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, dear Giselle. Thank you so much. You've done a great job. I'll reach out to you shortly to hand out your certificate. Dear participants, thank you so much for joining. See you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See you.
Bye-bye.